tell me about your obsession with Benedict. How did it come about? And,
Okay, it's all my husband's fault, and he acknowledges this now.
Oh, dear.
All right, so this was in our house in Phoenix. My husband was watching Netflix, and I was in my office innocently working, and Jake comes in and goes, "Hey, wait, you have to come see this, hear this monologue. This guy, you have to come see him." So I go in, and of course it's Sherlock. It's the first episode of Sherlock. And it's like when he first meets John in the lab. And Jake's like, just watch. He talks so fast. It's really cool. And so I watch, and I'm like, uh-huh. And in my head I'm thinking, oh my God, who is that man? And I have to know everything about him. So it took about 2 seconds for me to be just obsessed with him as Sherlock. And so the Sherlock, we binge watched all of Sherlock. This was back in maybe 2012 or something. And so we binge watched all of Sherlock, and then I had to see everything he'd ever done. And it's so silly, but it's such a nice escape, because I hate the news. I don't do politics. If I want to relax, I just want to veg out. And so things like Tumblr or, fan fiction. Oh my gosh, I love fan fiction. I write fan fiction. I read fan fiction. But it's shocking how many girlfriends I have on social media because of Benedict Cumerbatch. I have groups of women that are like my friends all around the world, and the only thing tying us together is our fan crush on this man. And because of that, and because of my fan fiction, people read my books because they're like, oh, she's funny on Twitter and she likes Benedict. And then also, of course, I always say, I base characters on Benedict in my fiction. And then my girlfriends are like, well, now I have to read it. So it's crazy how, being a fan of something really builds a community. And all of a sudden, you'll have all these new friends. You have inside jokes with these new friends all over the world just because you're a fan of the same thing. And that's the beauty of conventions too. You find your people, or I say find your freaks because I'm kind of freaky. So it's find your own freaks. The people that are interested in the same things as you and won't think you're a psycho because his birthday. I don't know, whatever. You have your people, and once you find your people, you got to stick, hold tight to those people because it's really cool to have that support group and that shared passion for something. In this big, cold world, it's kind of nice to have that.
I've never been to a convention, and I see the Americans speak about conventions all the time. So can you sort of give me an idea of what an author experiences at a convention?
Yeah, sure.
And actually what a visitor would experience.
I'm not sure I've never been a visitor at a convention because of my social anxiety. I never wanted to go to a convention, but then for my job, I kind of have to go to conventions now because it's part of the gig. So as an author at conventions, you're on panels, so you kind of get to pick what you talk. You usually get to choose your panels, which is great, because then you're there to talk about what you're good at. And you sit up in front of a room full of people, and you talk about, anything from character development to how to write comedy to how to write great sex scenes. That's a really fun panel to be on. And then, so you do your panels. In between that, you have signings, you do readings. I get really theatrical at conventions, and I think that's fun. So, because I have colored contact lenses, and I have fangs, and I have kind of slutty dresses I wear, and huge high heels, because it's you're playing a character at a convention as an author. People have read your books, but they haven't met you. So at a convention, they're expecting you to look like your book. So if you read the Bite Somebody series, you have the feel of the books, you have the quirkiness, you have the comedy, you have the sex, you have the romance. So when I go to conventions, I keep that in mind. I always have weird colored hair. I'm always in
I do like the blue. I must tell you, it's very nice.
Thank you. It changes all the time. So it's cool to meet other authors and kind of geek out. I mean, as an attendee, I imagine you're there to meet certain authors. You're there to learn certain things, because a lot of the attendees, they're the ones at the panels, so they get to come and ask about how to get published, what our experiences are, and so attendees learn from us, but they also get to buy books. They get to meet authors they've read previously. But then there are also great parties. There are fantastic hotel room parties where they'll have a suite of hotel rooms just for the convention, where it's just a mad party. Just every room's a different theme, and it's so fun. A girlfriend of mine, we have a convention in Detroit, Michigan, in August, and we're going to dress up as the twins from The Shining.
Oh, right, yes.
Because my friend Rosalind and I look very much alike, and loves creepy stuff, so we're going to be holding hands and walking around the convention just like, do you want to play with us? An example of the weird stuff you would see at a convention. So it's fun. You get to get in character and be around people that have a similar mindset as you and meet other authors. It's a really fun thing to do.